Good morning, Las Ventanas, and welcome to Las Ventanas Live with Brittany. Today we have a special guest. It's Doug. Oh, I think I almost said that right. Did I say that right?
I think you did.
It's been a while. I had some practice. I try my hardest. Everyone knows I do. But Doug is here with us today. And you know what? We are going to get it started with Doug just so he can say some of these important announcements that need to be heard. So take it away.
Well, hello, Doug. Well, hello, all of Las Ventanas. It is Doug, and I'm back with Brittany, my friend Brittany, who has done an outstanding job for us, as many of you know. And I'm going to start off with giving a round of applause to Brittany. And I'm going to circle back around and talk a little bit more about some of the accolades that you all have been sharing with me about Brittany and her team's performance over the past couple months. But most importantly, and not that that isn't important, but I'm here today to talk with you about COVID-19 and the newest variant that we're dealing with, and some of our cases that have tested positive, and some of the precautions that are being put in place for your safety and your welfare. I've said all along that my responsibility here is to make sure that this chapter of your life brings you purpose, brings you happiness, brings you safety, and lets you know that your welfare is our priority. So with that, many of you have been keeping abreast of the COVID-19 Omicron variant, the third round of COVID-19 that we've experienced here at Las Ventanas. And through the past couple weeks and months, our leadership team has been watching very closely as patterns have been developing throughout the country, the national trends. We've been staying in contact consistently and constantly with the Department of Public Health at the federal level, at the state level, at the local level. We have never let up on our engagement with those folks who've got us through the pandemic up to this point. Now, I know before the New Year's holiday arrived, we had to make the difficult decision to cancel the New Year's Eve celebration. And I want everyone to know that that decision was made by me and solely by me, with consultation from Randy Fuller, our Health Services Administrator, and Christina Clyde, our Director of Nursing. The last thing that I wanted to do to end this year was to douse the celebration of us entering calendar year 2022. But because of your safety and your welfare, and us watching the transmission rates occurring throughout all of our neighboring states, it was heavily advised that we cancel all collective gatherings where there's large congregations of folks who are going to be in close contact, hugging, kissing one another, celebrating, and so forth, and taking a more cautious approach. So for that reason, the New Year's Eve celebration was canceled. And again, that responsibility falls on my lap. I don't take it lightly, but I also want to make sure and reaffirm to all of you that your safety and your welfare are number one. So that brings us to today, January 4th, and we've had to make some more difficult decisions. And the first is to address our communal dining services, where we have a number of residents and team members in small areas where transmissions can occur quite quickly. For that reason, at least for the next 14 days, we have made the following adjustments to our dining program. In residential living, we have closed the La Paloma dining room. Delivery of meals will be made on disposables, and residents will be assigned time windows where a pickup option is available. Order forms will be provided for menu offerings, and you are welcome to decide whether you wish to pick up your meal or have it delivered. We will be waiving the delivery charge fee at this time because of the circumstances. For the bistro, We will be removing all tables and chairs, so there's no congregate gatherings there. There will be grab and go and grocery items available as there were through the early phases of COVID-19. And for assisted living, memory care, and the health center, breakfast, lunch, and dinner will be served on Chinaware in each residence room. So that is where we stand as far as dining services go. I understand that the Dining Services Committee has canceled their meeting for this month and our understanding of the situation. Now, if things improve, we may be able to open up the dining room much more quickly. But at this point, unfortunately, that doesn't seem to be the case because our cases continue to rise and we have to be mindful of the positivity rate in Clark County. And for that reason, I do want to share with you the positivity rate as it stands right now for the last reportable week of calendar year 2021. There was a transmission rate of 21.31%, which means if you gathered 100 people together, at least 21 people were positive for the COVID-19 virus. At the same time, we are going to be adjusting our lifestyle programming, and Brittany is working closely with me as well as Midge and Randy Fuller, and she has done an extraordinary job. And I reminded her before we went live here that help is just around the corner. Joe Davis will be joining our staff as Director of Hospitality on January 18th, not the 17th, that's Martin Luther King Day, a very important celebration day for everyone. But Joe will be here on the 18th and will help carry the burden of administrating all of the departments and take some relief and give some relief to Brittany. So what I have told Brittany is between this young lady's energy and from what I've gathered from Joe Davis and her energy, we have a dynamic duo that is really going to reach deep and challenge each of you to find greater purpose. But that brings us back to the current situation. And because of our transmission rate and because of the number of positive cases we have experienced, we have canceled all events scheduled to take place in the La Paloma dining room and even the Tuscany room. All community-sponsored recreational outings have been canceled, and all outside entertainment has been canceled at this time. We are going to continue to offer residence committee meetings virtually, and we're going to put a special emphasis on placing virtual activities on Cubico and through Zoom and other technology opportunities. Brittany and I are talking about this. Even if we can gather a small group of residents and have a Zoom call where the entertainment is with the entertainer and bring that to you live, we want to make sure that we stay connected to you through technology. And lastly, all activities and classes based on COVID-19 capacity limits for each respective location will continue. And one example there is the group that gathers in the afternoons to play ping pong in the Wellness Center. I think there's 5 to 7 residents. As long as they wear masks and distance themselves appropriately, that is permissible. And there may be groups that gather 4, 5, 6 who play cards. We encourage that. And we're still kicking around some ideas to get more smaller groups together. So between the smaller group gatherings and technology, we will be able to stay connected with you until this spike in the COVID-19 variant lessens. There will be no food or beverage offered at any of our activities because we have found out with this variant that there are 3 things. That the mode of transmission does become somewhat prevalent through food and drink items. Also, that the transmission of this variant is far more aggressive than what it's been in the past earlier 2 phases. And the other is for those who are vaccinated with the booster, that the severity seems to be somewhat less. So for that reason, we are going to avoid food and beverages. Transportation outings will continue to be offered on a local basis, and obviously there will be extenuating circumstances that Brittany and I will certainly entertain and do our best to bring normalcy back to the Las Ventanas community as quickly as possible. Most importantly, out of all this, please continue to exercise caution, wear your mask, wash your hands, physically distance, and let us know if you're not feeling well. If you do test positive, that is nothing to be embarrassed or ashamed of or feel as though there's some sort of cloud over you. We need to know if you test positive so that we can take all the precautions for you as well as your neighbors, friends, and family. So if you test positive, please let us know immediately. I do want to give you a COVID-19 update as far as our cases go. At this time, there are 17 positive cases that have been recorded. And of those 17, 2 are contracted team members. 1 is a skilled resident. 1 is a residential living resident. And the remainder are staff throughout our health center and assisted living levels of care. We continue to get test results from the Southern Nevada Health District as well as the state of Nevada. The response has been 24 to 48 hours delayed because of the New Year's holiday. So results continue, and we anticipate more positive case readings within the next 24 to 48 hours. We are reading some positive reports that will be added on in addition to those 17, but at the same time, fortunately, we have people rolling off the list because they've self-quarantined for the mandated 5 to 7 day period that is required by the CDC. So that's the COVID-19 update. And I know that some of you have asked about me updating you on items through Las Ventanas Live. What I have shared with Brittany is we want this mode of communication to be primarily a vehicle for your lifestyle, for your activities, for your events, for your purpose. But when there are important news items such as this recent outbreak, that's when I come before you to give you the most current update that I have possible. So if you have any questions, be sure to let me know or let Brittany know. And before I turn it over to our Energizer Bunny here, who keeps on moving all the time, I do want to say that I got this very kind letter that I want to read to all of you from a resident who will remain anonymous. I would like you to know what wonderful people you have working here, like Vanessa and Brittany. Vanessa can solve problems in just a few minutes that you think is a big thing to you. She also knows everybody and what their interests are. Brittany has been great in so many ways. She always does everything and with such enthusiasm. They, among others, make Las Ventanas alive. And I couldn't agree more.
That's so nice.
And at the same time, there are a couple of ideas that I'm going to float past Brittany in front of all of you. And during this time of outbreak, let's see if we can make them happen. Can we do a modified happy hour every evening, Monday through Friday? Well, let's see if that's possible. If we can get smaller groups with only beverages available, let's see if we can work through that. We will talk with Brittany and our dining service as well as our public health officials.
I've heard of this one though. I've definitely heard this one.
Schedule kitchen tours. Now, unfortunately, we cannot do that, especially at this time, due to sanitation and visitation requirements by public health officials. Unfortunately, we can't walk visitors through the kitchen. So I have to tell you up front and forward that that will be a no. Add a trip to the Bellagio.
Oh,
Well, let's get through this outbreak.
Yeah.
And I'm sure that we can see that
and
happens.
we've been going quite frequently too.
And do a happy hour every evening. I
It's the
think we
happy
heard this
hours.
before.
It's the happy
I heard
hours.
that.
Yeah.
And then the one other, again, someone asked about scheduling a kitchen tour. Unfortunately, we simply can't do that. But again, it's great to be with you. I will continue to keep you updated. We have said at least 14 days. We would love nothing more than for this spike to diminish much more quickly, but we are looking at least a 2-week period, but we will continue to keep you up to date. So with that, Brittany, it's all yours.
Well, thank you so much, Doug. I know everyone's been waiting to get some more announcements about this, so I'm glad that you could fill our residents in. Now it's January. We're in 2022. Finally, we're here. I hope everyone had a wonderful and safe New Year's. I was in bed, so I actually did not see any fireworks, but sometimes when you're sleepy, you're sleepy. But let's talk about Tuesday. Now, just so everyone knows, we are going to still be having bingo at 10. We're just going to have to make sure we're all spaced out. I know sometimes it's maybe 3 to a table. We're going to have to definitely do more like 1 to a table. And I'll take a look at everything today, which is bingo day, to make sure everyone is spaced very safely. And always wear your mask. In order for us to continue doing these events or exercises, we need to keep our mask on just to be safe. Balanced class of Melanie, still it's going on. Again, please wear your mask. Diamond painting right in here at 11:30 today, Tuesday the 4th. We just will have maybe 2 people to a table instead of everyone on the one table. So we'll kind of split that up here. And if I have to get another table out, which I have back here, I will, just to make sure everyone is spaced out. Snack stand will still be happening at 3. That'll be right in the front in the living room. Going on to Wednesday, music appreciation class. Same thing, it's still going to be going on. Just make sure everyone is kind of separated. I know this class is usually a smaller class, so we should be okay. Happy hour, just for this week, we are just going to be canceling happy hour, but next week we are hoping that with decreased numbers of the COVID cases and also a decreased number of residents able to attend, we could probably get that happy hour back in on the schedule next week. So keep that in mind. So no happy hour for this Wednesday. Thursday, great courses. Everything is still normal. It's just we won't have any coffee. So the no food that Doug discussed, we won't have any coffee or waters or anything like that. It will just be the great course for you. Friday, same thing, coffee trivia social. We're having coffee trivia social with just trivia. So it's going to be great. We just won't have our beautiful scones or our coffee, but that's all right. You're going to get to learn a little bit more with not me, but it'll be a staff member. I always surprise you. It might even be this one. We don't know. We don't know.
Roll the dice.
But yes, there'll still be trivia social just without the food. Again, the happy hour is canceled on that day. And then for movie nights for the weekend, we just won't have the snacks as if we usually would. But movie night will still be going on. So there are still a lot of things still going on. We just have to be careful with our numbers, with the mask. We just have to make sure we are as safe as possible. And then we can look at some things for the next week, which is still within the 14 days, but maybe we can make some things happen, a little bit more things happen. Now, keep in mind, next week we did have the men's breakfast and the women's tea. And then there is a Thursday night entertainment, which all of that won't be going on. So I know we just brought out the January calendars, so I know you'll see them, but I'll kind of send out those reminders that we won't be doing those activities just right now. And we pray that after the 14 days, we can have a little bit more going on. And then we'll maybe hopefully dance together soon.
Hey, maybe we'll have a New Year's Eve party in February or March.
And you never know. You never know. You could do anything you want. It's still early 2022. I believe that's all I have. I do want to remind everyone that I will not be here this Thursday, the 6th, is that the 6th, up until Monday, the 10th. So if you need any help with anything, please refer to Midge. And I believe Madeline won't be here the Monday. I would try to get everyone a more clear answer before I leave. But if you need anything, just please reach out to Midge and email me for when I get back. But I will see everyone then. Other than that, we'll have fun today with our bingo and our snack stand and our diamond painting. And thank you again for joining us.
Always a pleasure. And I'm sure I'll be back this week to share more.
Yes, please give us more
Okay.
updates. That's what the people want.
Yes.
All right, everyone, have a great day.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye.